We all know that programming is interesting, but colleges make them boring. In this video, let us try to make programming a bit fun. What I want to try in this video is write the codes of our college lab and make them interesting. The thing is, they have given a question, C program to display something like that, and we will definitely do that, and with some extra twist, so that it becomes interesting. That's what I want to make this video about. These are the list of the programs that our college lab contains. There are 12 programs that are to be carried out, but for this video, let's go with the basic programs. The first question. There are 4 sub problems in the first one, not the sub problems, but there are 4 problems in first question. One here reads out that C program to display hello world message. This is a very simple program, cannot really make that more interesting, nothing fancy about that. We have to just print out hello world. If you are really fascinated and want to make something more interesting about that program even, so try to take input from the user, the name of the user, and try to print hello world, and in the next line hello and his name or her name. For example, if the computer asks my name, I'll type Shriram, and then it prints out hello world, hello Shriram. If you enter your name, it should print hello world, hello your name. So like that. Another variation can be possible, that is printing out several times, hello world statement for several times. That means asking the user for how many times should I print this statement. You can tell for 2 times, 3 times. If you type for 6, it should print 6 times the hello world. So that's the variation, but really not an interesting one. But wait, I'll show you some interesting ones. Let's go for the B part. C program to scan all data type variables as input and print it as output. Okay, it literally took me 5 minutes to understand the question and think about the solution. Such a notorious question it is. I don't want to disclose the code which I have written, but I will show you the output. I will give you an idea how to write the code. Now I am in the folder where I have stored all the C programs I have written so far. So 1A is a normal thing, that's printing out hello world, that anyone can write. So let's see what the 1B looks like. Let's see what the 1B is. C program to scan all data type variables. Okay, that's a horrible one. So let's compile it first. GCC 1B.C. Okay, good, everything good. It's compiled. So let's check the output. A.out. Okay, it asked for entering a character. Let's enter something like M. Okay, it took that. Enter an integer. Okay, let's make 68, 69. Okay, enter a floating point, 3.14. okay, then it printed M is a character, 69 is an integer, 3.14 is a floating point. That's the basic idea of this program. It asks for the user to enter certain specific data type and prints out that this is this type of data type. That's very basic one, but there is a problem with this, and 99% of you will be facing the problem, because I also faced it. So let's see, can you handle that or not. So what the problem will be, I'll be talking about that in the last part. Coming to 1C program. This is kinda interesting one. C program to perform arithmetic operation like plus, minus, into, quotient, remainder on 2 input variables. You are thinking nothing special. What's that? But we can make variations of that. I have written 2 versions of the code. So let's see how the 2 looks like. The first one is a basic one, and what you are thinking is the first version, and also there is a second version of this. That's kinda interesting. Let's see the first version first. So coming to compile, let's first compile the code. GCC 1C1 dot c, because that's the first version, and it compiled. A dot out should give us the output. Okay, it's asking us for entering two values on which the arithmetic operations are to be performed. It asks for two values randomly. Let's type 47 and 44. Okay, it given the output as the sum of 47 and 44 91, difference is 3, product is 2068, and quotient is 1.606, remainder is 3 obviously. So that's the first version. But coming to the second one and the interesting one, let's first compile that. GCC 1c2.c, enter. Okay, that compiled. A dot out should give us the output. Okay, kind of same thing, enter two values and enter two values. Okay, which one should we enter? Let's enter something like 78 69. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, it asks for a symbol for performing the respective arithmetic operation from the below shown symbols. So it's kind of calculator thing. It's asking for us to enter a symbol and it will perform the respective operation. Kind of interesting, nice, right? So it given us 5 options plus or minus into quotient and remainder thing. But why should we go? We shall crash this program by entering some other value. Let's enter a W and see what happens. Oh, it is given invalid input. It really did not crash, and it given an invalid input. Enter a symbol for performing. Okay, that's the same thing. So we cannot crash the program. So let's think. If we want the quotient, we can give the forward slash enter. Okay, the quotient 178 is divided by 69 is 1.13. Okay, I took the floating point things, and so I got the quotient also in floating point. But when you try to get the remainder, you will not be getting the remainder when you use floating points. But you have to try that and see what happens when you use floating point to get the remainder, and how to get the remainder by using floating point. Let's see the 1D. Okay, 1D says that C program to perform temperature conversions from centigrade to Fahrenheit and vice versa. The question is ambiguous. It's telling us to convert centigrade to Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit to centigrade. How can I really did not understand. So I have added some masala written in my style. So let's compile GCC 1D.c and what happens. Okay, it compiled fine. A dot out. Oh, it's asked us to press either 1 or 2 as per the below instructions. If we want the temperature conversion from centigrade to Fahrenheit, it's asking us to press 1. If we want the temperature conversion in Fahrenheit to centigrade, then press 2. Okay, that's interesting. So why should we press 1 or 2? Let's try to crash this by pressing 9. Okay, it's asking us to choose between 1 and 2. It's forcing us, so let's see 1. Centigrade to Fahrenheit. 32 can be a good one. Okay, 32 degrees in Fahrenheit is 89.599. You can check that in Google if it's correct or not. But it did not stop there. It asked for another prompt. Do you want to perform the conversion again? Oh, nice thing. If yes, press Y. If no, press N. It's asking, we want again to perform any other conversion? So let's try now Fahrenheit to centigrade. Before we have tried centigrade to Fahrenheit, so now we'll try Fahrenheit to centigrade. So we'll press Y. Okay, again it asked for 1 or 2. So Fahrenheit to centigrade is in second option, so let's press 2. Okay, enter temperature in Fahrenheit. We will enter something like 256 and let's see what happens in. Okay, 256 Fahrenheit in centigrade is 124 degrees. Pretty nice. Again it asked for, do you want to perform conversion again? No, we really don't want that. We'll press N and enter. Okay, that terminated the. I think first two are not interesting ones, but third one and fourth one are interesting to try out. This is the 1B. Enter a character CH. I have written that in the first place. If I cut that and place it here and save this and again compile it, so 1B dot C, it compiled nice, but let's see what happens if we run it. Okay, it asked for an integer, we will give 54. It asked for a floating point 12. Enter. Boom. It asked us to enter a character, but it did not take any value. It just printed is a character, 54 is an integer, 12 is a floating point, and in place of character there is nothing, and it also not asked us for anything. This is the problem that you will be facing when you write something like this. If you place this in middle also, the program will not run. It will directly go to ask you floating point. It's because the enter key when we press after pressing the floating point will be considered as a character for the program, and it will show that enter key is a character. Here also enter key is a character. That's the real meaning of that. I was stuck at this point and I asked one of my friends and he clarified me. Special mention for him, Mr. Pawan Kumar, Varanasi Pawan Kumar. Thank you, Pawan, if you are watching this. Thank you so much for watching till now. If you find this interesting and useful, consider liking the video, and if you enjoy the video and want more videos like this one, consider subscribing the channel. Signing off, bye.